What?
It's time now for My Two Favorite Librarians, brought to you by the Copper Tree Boutique in Dales Grand Market, located in beautiful, historic downtown Amherst.
Hi, this is My Two Favorite Librarians. I'm Denise Corey.
I'm Chantel Taylor, and today we're talking about books with world leaders in them.
Yes. Obviously, Pop Sugar Reading Challenge prompt.
Yes.
Before we get started, though, I do want to say book talk later this month.
Yes.
Chantel and I have both read The Mall by Megan McCafferty, and we're going to do a Facebook Live on Saturday, November 28th. And if you can't watch it then, it'll still be on, it's going to be on the Cumberland Public Library's Facebook site. If you can't watch it then, it will stay on there and you can watch it again later. I'm sure that we will have different feelings about this book. I'm waiting to see what...
Yeah, we have to save our...
Yeah, we haven't talked about it at all. We're waiting, which is too bad because I wanted to talk about it. But okay, so now, books with world leaders.
Yes.
So, like I said, this was a Pop Sugar Reading Challenge prompt, and I used those prompts a lot to make up our ideas to talk for what we're going to talk about for the year. Also, so that I read the books in the prompts so that I can, try and finish my reading challenge.
How many do you have this year?
I've completed 42 of 50.
That's pretty good.
That's where I got to last year, and I seem to be stuck. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I know what you want to talk about. You want to talk about Trump books.
And how I don't ever want to buy another one again.
Because you get most of the book requests, and we've been buying Trump books left and right. They put out a new book on him every other week, it seems.
Yeah.
And then Melania, and then...
And that woman, nobody should be buying that book because I think, what a jerk.
The woman who
taped all the conversations and then published a book about it?
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah, not good friendship. I mean, I'm not saying that I...
Allegedly, Melania did something first, but I feel like if you're dealing with the Trumps, shouldn't you just expect that?
Yeah. So, we have lots and lots of Trump books. Lots and lots and lots of them, if people want to borrow them. I can't read that. I won't read that.
Are there any on your top 10 list? Because you just did the top 10 list the other day. So our top 10, most books with the most hold. So Rage, I'm assuming by Bob Woodward?
No, it's the one by his niece.
Ugh.
Too Much and Never Enough. That one is on our top 10 nonfiction. How about something that will make a lot of people happy?
The new Obama books?
The new Obama books. So his presidential memoir comes out this month. Volume 1. It's a 2-volume set called A Promised Land. And we have a copy. We have an ebook copy on Overdrive. I have 2 paper copies on the way and an audiobook. So hopefully we will have enough for the demand. The Michelle Obama book was in huge.
Yeah, Becoming was a big one.
Yeah. So I assume that this one will be even bigger.
Michelle Obama has her own podcast now.
Yes.
It's good.
She should run for president.
No, that's not happening.
She has no
sensible
desire
for that.
So, yeah, we'll offset the Trump with the Obama. I don't know. I feel like we talk too much about the American politics.
It's true, but...
It's like watching
It's like watching The West Wing, except badly worded. Aaron Sorkin isn't writing Trump's dialogue.
Oh, no, that's clear. I feel like we should talk about Canadian politics, though.
Of course you do.
We're Canadian.
So?
Yeah. How about some prime ministers? Mm-hmm. I read years ago when I was taking Canadian studies at Mount A, I read a book about William Lyon Mackenzie King, and I still remember.
Is he the one who talked to his dead mother?
Yeah, he used to have seances to communicate with his dead mother and his dead dogs and ask them questions about running the country. And he was prime minister for something like 12 years. So,
yeah.
Read that biography. I don't remember what that one was called, but I think you can read most biographies about him and find out that he was a bit of a odd duck.
But spiritualism was big during that time. Everybody was doing seances trying to talk to
their dead dogs.
Yeah.
What would you expect your dead dog to tell you? Woof?
I don't know.
So I'm completely changing gears again.
Wait. I want to go back to, are you finished with Canadian? Because I've actually read a Canadian book about a Canadian leader.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
I wish people could see my face because I know there's like a complete look of shock.
I read a book from the Frisky Beavers series called Prime Minister by Ainsley Booth and Sadie Hadler.
This is why you were giggling while you were writing your notes up.
Yes.
Frisky Beavers. So do we own the Frisky Beavers series?
No, I don't believe we do.
Oh.
I mean, I could buy it if you want. So the Prime Minister is a Trudeau-esque, but not really Justin Trudeau. There's
just
no like
some pretty.
Yeah, Gavin is his name. Isn't that a great Prime Minister Gavin? I mean, that's his first name, not his last name. So the series involves the Prime Minister, one of his RCMP, like Secret Service.
Security detachment, yeah.
A doctor, and they all play hockey together.
Of course they do. And then there's Frisky Business with Frisky Beavers.
It's erotica.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's frisky.
And did you enjoy that book?
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best I've read, but I thought, come on, Frisky Beavers, I have to read that.
If you want to read actual books about Trudeau, we have them about father and son.
Yes.
And Jack Layton and Elizabeth May. And I don't think we have anything about Aaron O'Toole. I mean, he's pretty new, right? So,
yeah.
You have to cover all the political spectrum. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we do have a lot. So on to more fiction, not Frisky Beavers. How about Red, White, and Royal Blue?
That was on my list too.
I figured it would be.
President's son and the sort of Prince of Wales, but William, gay William, not.
No, Henry is his name in the book. But it makes me so angry.
Americans don't know. Just get over it. They just don't know.
He is not the Prince of Wales. Henry, in this book, would not be the Prince of Wales because his older brother would be the Prince of Wales. So, why? Why? It made me so angry the whole time I read the book.
It was the same for me when I read the Alyssa Cole Duke by Default, and the heroine goes to Scotland to do a sword making internship, and she finds out that the hero of the book is actually the illegitimate child of the Duke of Edinburgh, but not the Queen's Duke of Edinburgh, like a separate duke.
Except there is only one Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah, Prince Philip. And that was made up for him when he married the Queen.
Yeah.
So it was really off-putting at the garden party where the Duke of Edinburgh meets the Queen at his annual garden party. And I thought, okay, this is too much for me. And I don't understand why nobody knew.
Why no one fact-checked that. Really.
I love that series, though. Reluctant Royals, amazing. Duke of Edinburgh.
Not right.
Yeah.
If you can overlook that, though.
And I could, because it was a really good series.
So for the actual prompt, I used The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So this summer, I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the prequel to the Hunger Games trilogy. And then I went back and read The Hunger Games, and you're giggling. Why are you giggling?
No reason.
Why are you giggling?
I'm just giggling. Keep going.
I read The Hunger Games, and then I read Mockingjay. Is Mockingjay the second one?
Yeah.
But I didn't read the third.
Catching Fire?
Catching Fire. Yeah, so I read
the third.
I read Hunger Games and Catching Fire, but I didn't read Mockingjay because I just became bored with it.
But you didn't like Mockingjay the first time you read it.
I didn't like it the first time, and I thought maybe I would like it the second time, and then when I just decided not to do it. So, yeah, that's what I use for my prompt.
Okay. So, as I mentioned with Frisky Beavers, there's lots of romance.
I just can't. I'm sorry, go on.
Do you know that there's a Canadian yarn company? I believe it's called Sweet Fiber, and they have a whole beaver line of yarn. So there's bougie beaver and swanky beaver. It's amazing. I really need to order some beaver yarn.
Yes. I assume that they're not actually using beaver fur.
No.
Because beaver fur wouldn't spin well.
No, and it would be waterproof maybe, though.
Yeah, probably not.
Really itchy.
Yeah.
No, there's no actual beavers harmed in the making of the beaver yarn.
Did you read any other books in the Frisky Beaver series?
No, I just read the first one. It was fine.
Is the rest of the series also about Prime Minister Gavin?
Well, yeah, he's part of the circle, so I'm sure he shows up.
Okay.
Because it's like each book in the series is like one is about him, one is about the RCMP officer, one is about the doctor.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And they all play hockey together.
Yeah, they all play hockey. So anyway, there's lots of romance that revolves around falling in love with the president or a senator. I'm not really at all enamored with the thought of dating a politician. Like it's hard work.
That sounds terrible to me. Especially somebody who is really high level.
Yeah, because everything you do is scrutinized. I would be terrible at that. So it's not like a trope that I really go for, but there's there's the White House series, there's the new Camelot series by Sierra Simone, which actually has the president sending out his best friend to woo a socialite, and then of course hijinks ensue. And Sierra Simone writes it. She's very spicy. There's lots of YA too around like presidents' kids and
yeah, which would also be terrible. Would you want to be?
No. Can you imagine those
the
poor
scrutiny?
Obama
Well, remember
girls like hitting puberty in the White Chelsea Clinton?
Yeah, I was going to say, remember Chelsea Clinton? And people were so mean to her.
I know. It was really terrible.
Yeah.
Really terrible.
It seems less so in Canada. I mean, I know that Prime Minister Trudeau has kids.
I don't know that we necessarily see them as much as...
exactly. I mean, they're little, but I think we don't really follow that much.
And maybe we just haven't had, because Trudeau's probably the youngest prime minister we've had in a while.
Yeah. Well, his father, he was young when his father was in office, because there is pictures of his dad kind of throwing a kid over his shoulder or whatever. But I think we just don't follow their kids. Because really, that has nothing to do with, and should have nothing to do with politics.
It's true. Another area of romance I don't normally read is romantic suspense. Mm-hmm. So there's usually like a mystery involved. We're not talking about whether the hero and heroine will get together. That's a given. But it's usually like, FBI bodyguards or whatever. And so, of course, Sandra Brown is a big romantic suspense author. And she has a couple of like sort of political mystery romance thrillers out there. There's also a big senator's love child tropes where they're on the run from the evil senator, and
All right.
Yeah.
So at least this one is crossed off my Pop Sugar Reading Challenge list.
I would have it crossed off my Pop Sugar Reading Challenge if I was doing it too.
Frisky Beavers. So the reality is I'm kind of tired of politics right now.
Yeah.
And by kind of, I mean a lot.
Done. I don't know why you spend I can't watch the news. I can't listen to Adam every day. Oh, did you hear about? No.
So instead, let's do this. I have finished reading 81 books so far this year. And like I said, only 42 of the 50 of the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. I feel stuck. And right now, I'm reading a book.
Maybe give me the list and I can find some terrible romances for you to read, which you won't like anyway. But
right now, I'm reading a book that you would hate.
I mostly hate all your books.
Yeah, thanks. The Marrow Thieves by Sherry Dimeline. It's a teen book, Canadian, so right there, and dystopian. It's basically anything you would not read. And I haven't been reading a lot of dystopian books really this year because I do find...
We are living in dystopia.
Yeah. So I'm less inclined...
Or the beginnings of it.
Yeah. But this book, I'm so glad I made an exception for this book. It is so good. So it's sort of in the near future, I would say. The world is ravaged by global warming. Most people have lost the ability to dream. And so that's like sort of driving people crazy.
Yeah.
Except the indigenous people have not lost the ability to dream. So settlers or Europeans or white people, whatever term you want to use, have been hunting indigenous people something about their bone marrow. You can use it as a serum. So it is really about this group of indigenous people who are on the run from recruiters and how they're living in the woods and how they're... So it's really good and really difficult. And it won so many awards. It won a Governor General's Award. It won a Burt Award for First Nations, Métis, and Inuit literature. It won a Sunburst Award for young adult fiction. It won a Kirkus Prize for young adult fiction. And it was part of the CBC's 2018 Canada Reads competition. It was also listed as one of the Globe and Mail's best 100 books of 2017. Like, it's an amazing book. You will never, ever read it.
No, I won't.
What are you reading?
I'm listening to Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. It's a new Netflix series. And I love this book. I've read it a couple of times, and I thought, before I watch the series, I should reread the book so I have it fresh in my mind and I can tell people what's wrong with the series. They actually did a pretty cute job.
It is hard to fit everything in from a book.
Well, it's a series, so they have all the time in the world to fit it in. Some of the changes they made, I was like, man, but also some of the things that they changed, I thought, oh yeah, that would be creepy to show now, because there's like a scene where Dash has to get something from Santa, and the Santa is kind of like creepy if we're looking through it, 2020 eyes. He has to reach in Santa's coat to pull out so it's like, yeah, I don't blame them for changing that.
Yeah.
So it was cute, and I loved it, and I love this book, and I still love it, and I highly recommend.
And it's kind of Christmassy.
It is Christmassy because it's leading up to Christmas. Both Dash and Lily are sort of spending Christmas apart, and she leaves a notebook in the Strand, which of course is very timely because the Strand may be going out of business. So I hope that they can keep it going. Stupid COVID. And Dash picks up the book, and they sort of have this like back and forth with each other. They're daring each other to do things, and then they kind of like meet. And I think they just released a third book because there's Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. That's the first one. And then I think the 12 Days of Christmas. And they just released one called Mind the Gap.
Okay.
Where Dash goes to school in London.
So you recommend it?
I do. I love it. It's good.
I should say, if you're unable to come to the library for whatever reason, you're just not comfortable, you have mobility issues, whatever, we are offering Borrow by Mail to all citizens of Cumberland County. It is an absolutely free service. All you need to do is have a library card, which is also free. We will mail you books, movies, jigsaw puzzles, basically anything that will fit in one of our mailer bags. Especially with the winter weather coming, there may be times when you feel like you can't get out onto the road. We will mail you things. You can also borrow ebooks, audiobooks, magazines, TV shows, music, and movies online from the library for free. You need to have a library card, but we can do that for you. And if you need help with it, you can just contact us. And if there's something you would like us to talk about on the radio, drop a comment in the My Two Favorite Librarians Facebook group, and we'll add it to our list. We're making up our list for next year. Yeah?
Yes.
What's our website, Chantel?
www.cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca.
Yay. Next week, what are we talking about?
Posthumously famous authors.
Bye.
Bye.
My Two Favorite Librarians, brought to you by the Copper Tree Boutique in Dales Grand Market, located in beautiful, historic downtown Amherst.